Get your brand connected to 35 million readers in India and 2 million in the USA. Global Eye Magazine, the fastest growing Indo-US weekly. Our magazine dives deep into exclusive stories, face-to-face interviews, and key happenings across the USA and India, delivering content you won't find anywhere else. Advertise with Global Eye Magazine and reach highly targeted and influential audience. Contact us to book your ad space.
Hello and welcome to Dr. VGP Talk Show.
Hello, I'm Meghna Bansal. Neighborhood has been my home for 20 years. I raised my family and grew my business.
Meet Meghna Bansal, a dedicated finance executive with 22 years of experience in a global company. Meghna currently serves on the Planning and Zoning Commission of Naperville, was elected trustee for Wheatland Township, and co-chaired the senior program. Her extensive community service includes board memberships with various nonprofits. Meghna's top priorities when elected will be enhancing public safety and law enforcement, driving economic development, ensuring fiscal responsibility, and addressing mental health concerns. Meghna has tirelessly worked all these years and has been attending every city council meeting, demonstrating her commitment and integrity. She needs your support to make a difference. Vote for Meghna Bansal by April 1st. She's number 6 on the ballot. Together, let's build a safer, stronger, and healthier community.
I will be your voice and I will be representing you. Please support me. Thank you so much.
Meghna Bansal, running for Naperville City Council.
Fusion Systems and Services, a powerhouse in innovation, delivering transformative technology solutions. With our groundbreaking cloud-ready product, ITIS, leading the industry as the ultimate RPA solution, trusted by top global enterprises. From mobile application testing to middleware automation, from big data integration to SAP automation, and even Salesforce automation, Fusion Systems is your strategic partner for success. No challenge is too big, no system is too complex. Empower your business with Fusion Systems. Visit us now at fusionsystems.inc.com and revolutionize your future.
Join us for the GSA Global Millets Expo on April 11th and 12th, 2025, hosted by Purdue University College of Agriculture Department of Food Sciences, in collaboration with the Global Strategic Alliance, USA, and the Global Eye International Institute for Leadership, taking place at the Purdue University campus at West Lafayette, Indiana. This exciting event unites farmers, food producers, industry leaders, and innovators from the USA and India to celebrate and explore the incredible potential of millets, supergrain. Showcase your millet products, set up an exhibit booth, and connect with partners who share a vision for healthier, sustainable food solutions. Don't miss this opportunity to network, discover new markets, and gain valuable industry insights. Register now as a delegate to secure your spot and be part of this transformative event in sustainable agriculture. For more details, email us at gsaglobalmilletsexpo@gmail.com. See you there.
Hello and welcome to the Global Eye Magazine's podcast, the Dr. VGP Talk Show. which reaches 42 million households, including 38 million in India and 2 million in North America. In this episode of Dr. VGP Talk Show, you're going to meet face to face the national spokesperson of Telugu Desam Party. You all are aware that the 16 member of parliament of the Telugu Desam Party is part of the National Democratic Alliance, which holds Prime Minister Modi's government today in India. We are in 2025 right here in New Delhi on 50 Ashoka Road, and we are going to meet a vibrant personality who describes herself as a student of CBN Garu, describes herself as an admirer of a hardworking, pure soul, Nara Lokesh ji, and who describes herself as a passionate loyalist who is learning every day from her leader, mentor, and hero, Nara Chandrababu Naidu ji, who is the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh since 2024, who swept the state assembly elections to gain an absolute majority. The National Democratic Alliance NDA government is in power in Andhra Pradesh, and the NDA is also in power in the central government of India, federal government of India. Today, you're going to meet 44-year-old Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, a PhD in management, born and bred in Warangal, Andhra Pradesh, who has worked in Ernst Young and Deloitte and Touche and the corporate world. Gave it all up, an academician and a politician, to serve her leader, who she refers to as CBN Garu, who has taught her life's lessons of success, challenges, and triumphs. You're going to listen to Firebrand, Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, who's describing how Andhra Pradesh was nearly but destroyed from 2019 to 2024. And during the last 6 months, when her leader, Telugu Desam Party Supremo, CBN, Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu, took the helms of power in Andhra Pradesh, how quickly they are reimagining, recreating, restoring, reviving, transforming, and rebuilding Andhra Pradesh to make Amravati a world-class capital, with having all the Fortune 500 companies to invest in Andhra Pradesh from in Amravati, Vizag, Nellore, Kurnool. Hello and welcome to the Global Eye Magazine's podcast, Dr. VGP's talk show that reaches 42 million households, including 2 million across North America. We are today at 50 Ashoka Road in Delhi, the parliamentary office of the Telugu Desam Party. As you all know, the Telugu Desam Party is part of the National Democratic Alliance, which is the ruling governance as India's government. We have with us Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, who is the vibrant national TDP Telugu Desam Party spokesperson. Madam, thank you so much for joining us in spite of her busy schedule in Delhi today on Dr. VGP Talk Show. And she's going to tell us a lot of insights about what Andhra Pradesh was, what Andhra Pradesh is, and what her role is in Delhi as the national TDP spokesperson. Yesterday she was on Republic TV channel on a debate, and she is young, dynamic, born and bred and educated in Warangal. As you all know, that's a city in Andhra Pradesh, a graduate of Kakatiya University. She's an academician and a politician, and she is Firebrand today. All of the person who brought us and our research team said, "Sir, do you want to bring the voice of CBN, Chandrababu Naidu, who's the voice, who Professor Tirunagari is, the voice of CBN in the corridors of power in Delhi?" I said, "Why not?" And here we are. Professor Jyothsna, could you tell us about your early education and childhood?
Yeah, before that, thank you so much for the kind words. Yes, basically, I come from a middle class family. My father was a lecturer, and I'm born and brought up in Warangal, a city next to Hyderabad.
Yes.
And all my education was in Warangal, and in fact, I'm a graduate from the Kakatiya University campus. I don't know, but sometimes I feel I think I should tell you my pure background of education, because I have done my intermediate plus two, what you call, from a science background. I have done my graduation from computers background. I have done my post graduation from finance background.
Fantastic.
So it's a very, I would say, a varied thing for me, a sharp contrast in all the fields, and all of it was because I was passionate about what I do.
So you have a science background, an economic background, and a financial background.
Yes.
And it ended up with a PhD in management. Wow, how lovely.
So, I mean, that's one of the best things that has happened with me, I would say, because it has given me pure exposure in all the fields as far as I was concerned. And after that, I started my career in the, as a corporate employee. I started my career with Ernst & Young.
Wow.
And continued with Deloitte for quite some time.
Both the giants.
And after Deloitte, I don't know, somewhere, in Telugu, there's a saying. I don't know how many people can connect with it, but "Purugu telustundi" antam. So there is something in your brain that, it just keeps you like this. Jyothsna, this is not for you. Just snap it. Do something else. And that's when I said, okay, I'm getting into academics. During that time, I started an NGO of my own. Because
What's the name of the NGO?
Samskara.
Samskara. What is the meaning?
Transforming lives.
Wow, how apt.
So we talk about the holistic development of an individual. I basically am more passionate about women empowerment. I am passionate about the, I would say, youth education and all these things. So I started my work there. Along with that, I stepped into academics. I started my career with an engineering college as a assistant professor, then associate, then professor, and still somewhere there was some gap. So I said, chalo, now probably I'll have to be passionate about people, and then I came into politics. I think I would say entry into politics for me was a pure sudden surprise, I would say. I don't want to mention it. I usually don't mention it in most of my interviews, but I think I promised I would be honest with you, so I'll have to do that today. There was one gentleman who said, "You're a teacher, be a teacher. Politics is not for you." That's when I thought, boss, this is not it. Politics is for everybody. And politics
Absolutely.
actually changes the lifestyle of an individual.
That's the best way you can transform lives.
And I believe policy decision makers are the people who change the society on a whole. And I believe more women should be there as policy decision makers.
Absolutely.
Not just mere implementators or not just mere not at the receiving end. So that's the reason I came into politics, and it's, I think, I'm quite lengthy now, but yeah, this is all about Jyothsna.
Right. So good. Jyothsna, so in 2019, when TDP lost power, you joined the party. Tell us your journey from there.
Firstly, I would like to tell you one small phrase. People call me Professor Jyothsna, people call me hardcore TDP, and people call me Yellow Soldier, but I am a disciple of CBN. That's how I would love to
Be known.
quote me and be known. Because when I was in my, I think my intermediate or so, he was the chief minister, and he was in thing then. CBN Garu was like, anybody and everybody would talk about him. And I am the first batch of the course that he has introduced for the youth in those days, in 98, I suppose. Because I'm the first batch of Bachelor in Computer Applications, which he actually introduced at that particular point of time. And some thousands of students have benefited with his vision. In 2019, when the party lost, before that, as I told you, I started my career as an independent contestant for the corporation elections there, and then I just used to, do my job. I would lead agitations for the people. RTC employees were having some problem, so I would lead their agitation. Some MEPMA women were having some problem, I would lead their agitation. So that's how I was building up, and I was an independent political analyst. One fine day, I got an opportunity to talk to my, I think, role model, or my, I don't know what to call him, but till that point of time, I was this Ekalavya Sisha, you call me.
Right.
So I was that for him. And suddenly I just get that opportunity to talk to my hero in politics.
Okay.
And I got an opportunity of speaking to him for 2 long hours.
Wow. It's a long
And
time.
that's something that I would never, ever, ever forget in my life. And that's just changed my political, I think, thought process. Because for me, coming into politics was all about people. Because I'm not a politician as such. I'm not a traditional politician. My family doesn't have much of political background or anything. But I wanted to come into politics because I wanted to see a change. That's it. And my definition of politics is service to people.
So
not about positions.
What was the highlights of the 2-hour meeting you had with the father of the computerization in India, CBN Garu?
He just said 2 words. I think 2 hours ka 2 words I can tell you. He said, I'll be your mentor in politics.
Wow. That's fantastic.
You just speak. You're an excellent speaker. You just speak. You work for the people. And I'll be behind you. The moment you work for the people, I'm with you. No strings attached.
Very well.
No strings attached there. He said, do service to the people, I'm with you. Your political career is my thing. You just forget about it. I said, sir, for me, you are my mentor. You are my guide. You are my, I think I would say, guru. So just tell me what to do. He just, the final word was one thing. Keep working for people. And just follow your heart.
And that's what you're doing right now. Wonderful. So let us, recently, I know how a vibrant, magnetic personality CBN is, as you call him, Chandrababu Naidu Garu. I had an opportunity of meeting him when he was Finance Minister of the United Andhra Pradesh that time. And there was so much is going, now that he has come back to power in such an absolute majority, I would say. NDA is in power in the state of Andhra Pradesh. NDA is in power in Delhi. There were some of this people, but one of the controversies which was raging fire, if I could say, was the Tirupati laddu incident. Could you tell us What is that Tirupati laddu controversy all about? For the ghee, whether it's the buffalo ghee or what is it?
See, before getting into the Tirupati laddu controversy, there's one phrase that describes CBN. Is the comeback man of independent Indian politics.
Come back, absolutely.
And we already, I always keep saying that. He'll be back and back with a bang. And he did that. 2019 was very heartbreaking for all of us. Even though I was in the party at that particular point of time. But we felt bad. We felt bad not for CBN Garu. We felt bad not for TDP. We felt bad for the state of Andhra Pradesh.
The people of Andhra Pradesh.
Yes, absolutely. Because this man is committed to development. This man is committed to welfare.
He's proven.
And he's just committed to people. So anything and everything that CBN does is always for people. There are no strings attached to it. And he has got no other, thought process. I don't know, I am at my age itself, sometimes I feel tired, or sometimes I feel like, what am I doing? Come on, I'll take some rest. But this man never gets tired of the work that he does. 11 o'clock in the night, he's on roads. 1 o'clock in the night, he's on roads when people are in floods. The recent Vijayawada floods I'm talking about. So he is such kind of a personality. After he came back to power, our party came back to power in 2024. During one of the meetings of NDA MLAs, he was addressing the NDA MLAs, and before that also he is like a ardent devotee of Lord Sri Venkateshwara, Lord Balaji. So he believes he has got a second chance in his life. You know the Alipuri Ghatna. Yes. So he at that particular point of time, in that meeting, he said the last government led by YSRCP. The government of YSRCP, led by Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, has done a lot of damage to the state in terms of, whether it was investments going back or, employment being nil and all these things, destruction all the way. But the helm of the thing was he has played with Lord Venkateshwara also.
That's a cardinal sin.
And which was like he has hurt the sentiments of some crores of devotees across the world. Because during one of the, after the party came into power, there was some vigilance, inquiries were also done. During that particular point of time, it came to the notice, a report came out from a very reputed national laboratory saying that the ghee that was used to make was the Tirupati laddu was adulterated. And certain, part of it, one of the test report said there was adulteration of animal fat. That was something that, it just, it just shook all of us.
Absolutely.
Because as devotees of Lord Balaji, we can never think of anything like that. And because I'll tell you the reason also, what those people have done, the earlier government has done was, they have played with the tenders. See, Tirupati laddu is a patented product.
Absolutely.
So, the tenders for any patented products are never called on quantity based or cost based. They're always quality based.
Correct.
So they're never cost based. You also know it. All the people also know it. But what these guys have done is they have made it some sort of cost based, and I don't know what they have done. Some people who were not supposed to be involved in the tender were involved. They were granted the L1, and all these things have happened. So when a report of that sort has come out, as an ardent disciple and as an ardent devotee of Lord Sri Venkateshwara, CBN Garu felt the pain of it. He said, what's this man, Jagan Mohan Reddy, has done to the state? So with that agony, with that pain, he expressed in front of all the MLAs, since he has done all this, we have to rectify it. So what we have done immediately, after our government came in, immediately that company was blacklisted.
Right.
And new tenders were called on. And measures were taken. A vigilance inquiry was ordered. And in fact, a set was also laid on that. And then Supreme Court also ordered for an independent set comprising of the central government people and also the state government people in it.
And after all that, now the TDT board, CBN Garu appointed B.R. Naidu as the chairman of TDP.
Yes.
And I'm told there are so many reforms happening at a rapid pace of time. Could you tell us what's all happening?
Why am I telling you this? See, when CBN Garu took charge as the Chief Minister of the state, when he won, after winning the election, he went to Lord Tirumala. He went to Hill Shrine of Tirumala. He went to Lord Venkateshwara for darshana. On the Hill Shrine itself, he said one thing. The revamp of the state, cleansing of the state would start from Tirumala.
Wow. Very poignant words.
He said
Very
that.
poignant words.
He said that. Because there was a lot of destruction that has happened in the state for the past 5 years in YSRCP rule. So he said everything. The change would happen from TTD. Yeah. It would start from TTD. He took some time in appointing the chairperson for TTD board. Yes, time was taken. But you have another ardent devotee of Lord Sri Venkateshwara there as the chairperson now. And contrary to the earlier chairperson, this chairman of TTD, he doesn't use the TTD vehicles.
Okay, wow.
He pays for the time he stays in Tirumala. He pays the rent for his cottage. And he doesn't take a single penny from TTD. Wow. He pays his own workers.
Excellent role model.
So he's clear. I am here to serve God. I have got nothing to do with anything else. Yeah. So there are certain reforms. See, Lord Sri Venkateshwara is like, all of us think that एक बार दर्शन हो जाए बस भगवान का हमें आराम से दर्शन हो जाए. That's what every devotee thinks. Across the world, you have got devotees for Lord Sri Venkateshwara. So what they are trying to do now is one of the innovative things. They have tried to, bring in AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Oh.
The face recognition app has been introduced.
Oh, good.
So that people don't have to stand in compartments hours together. So you go there, for example, Dr. Vijay. What happens is your face is scanned. There are centers across the city. Your face is scanned. You'll get a time for your darshana. You just go there. Your face scan is already there. You just go in 1 hour or 1.5 hours.
Incredible. So no long waiting queues. I remember waiting in the long queue.
And also what he said was, see, there are certain things that have to be changed. Like people of other religions. See, because in Lord Sri Venkateshwara's thing, there should be a lot of belief system. Even if a non-Hindu goes for darshana there, you have to give it in writing.
That you believe in.
You just believe in him. You're not converting your religion, but you just believe in Lord Venkateshwara. So, what B.R. Naidu Garu said is, let's not have non-Hindus in the board, in the temple as employees, because there could be some sentiments that would be hurt.
Yes.
And that's according to a GO that was long issued. I think issued around, 30 years, 20 years back.
Okay, but it is not followed.
So he said, I'm going to do it again. And one more beautiful thing that he has done is, he said there was I think, piles of garbage up there on the hill shrine. Because the earlier government actually neglected everything. TTD earlier.
A lot of solid waste management.
So he said, he went there, he inspected and said, this has to be removed. And he's doing it.
Wow.
And then the other thing he said was, there should be no compromise in the laddu prasada making. And also there should be no compromise in all the prasada makings. And none of the devotees should complain that
they didn't get.
I had a problem in having darshan of Lord Venkateshwara. He regularly, I'll show you the videos and pictures. He regularly inspects the queue lines. He regularly goes to the vendors there. And he says, I am here to serve God. I am just here as a mediator between God and the pilgrims.
What a blessing, what a blessing. Professor Jyothsna, you gave the clear update of what's happening in TTD, all the fantastic reforms, especially how AI with the face recognition is great. Now tell us about the capital of Andhra Pradesh, Amaravati, CBN's favorite spot, as you're bringing it back, and what's happening there.
Yes, as you rightly quoted, it's CBN's favorite spot, and definitely he wants to make it the world-class capital.
World-class.
World-class capital, and he promised.
Yeah, like he whatever he does, he's a global icon, world-class. He brought foreign investment when he was Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister of United Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad. He changed his Who transformed it into this
there's
drive.
there's a saying with CBN, what happens is, what the world thinks tomorrow, CBN thinks today.
Absolutely. Very well.
What the world thinks tomorrow. Because if you remember, Dr. Vijay, I think in the late 90s, he thought about Genome Valley.
Yes.
None of us even thought about it.
Yes, knew what.
We were actually, young children then. None of us actually imagined that there would be something called Genome Valley, there would be something called biotechnology, there would be something called, IT. Many people say, IT, Chandrababu Naidu Garu takes credit for IT industry,
he did
industry in the state of United Andhra Pradesh. But yes,
high-tech city is his creation.
sir, I'll tell you one thing. Babu Garu, for us, as we very fondly call him, Babu Garu is like a person, he thinks of future generations.
Yes.
Politics for him is not about position, not about power. Politics for him is all about future generations. So at that particular point of time, if you remember, entire global economy was not going correctly. You remember that Manmohan Singh ji was the finance minister also.
Correct.
At that particular point of time, there were a lot of issues that were happening with the world economy. This man said, I'll have to do something for my state. Because there were no jobs. Agriculture was also at the, not going as expected. Then he suddenly saw the information technology thing would be the in thing in the coming days. You know what he has done? There's something called first mover advantage. Immediately, he started establishing engineering colleges across in and around Hyderabad and Rangareddy district. Then he got the required roads and required flyovers that would be done. Then he said, no, I need to have world-class institutions here. So he said, chalo, ISB ko la lo. Chalo, Nalsar ko la lo. I don't know what this man does. Always he keeps telling us one thing. When there are, he always tells us, especially in our internal meetings, he tells us, when you are in crisis, look for opportunities.
Fantastic.
That's the best thing
when
you
you're
can
in
do.
crisis, look for opportunities.
At that particular point of time, the state was in crisis. In fact, he is blamed of increasing the power charges and a lot of things were done. But he said, I'll have to put my state back on track. Bang it. I don't want to listen to anything. Right. He went to the extent of serving breakfast to the representatives of a particular, whether it was an educational institute, which was ISB, or whether it was like, representatives from different corporate giants. He said he went to the extent of serving breakfast, having breakfast with them. He went to the extent of sending his ministers to airports to receive them. He said, I'm going to offer +1. Whatever the other state is giving, I'm going to offer +1. But I want you to come to my state. I want you to generate employment in my state.
He's sowed this roots of development. And now, so I think Andhra Pradesh state is in great hands. So the world-class capital,
Amravati. As I said, I'm interrupting you, but that's his vision for the capital city. So when he was the United Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, he did it from Hyderabad.
Correct.
And after now, in 2014, when he came back to power in, the divided Andhra Pradesh, he had the same dream of having a world-class capital.
Yes.
There was a gap of 5 years where we have seen a lot of destruction. Now, he's rebuilding it again. It would take time, but until and unless we have a strong capital for the state, it would not be possible for the state to progress.
Absolutely.
Capital is the center point. You understand? So, what he's doing is, his center point is capital. But he has got a decentralized development, I tell you. He puts the manufacturing hub in Anantapur. You mean this Rayalaseema, what we call. He puts the services industry in Visakhapatnam.
Vizag, okay.
He has thought of a food processing park near Nellore, Tirupati.
Okay. Wow.
He has developed Sri City near Tirupati. He has developed, I would say, he has got a lot of, one in Anakapalli, one in Nellore, one in, and he's
so
thinking
very well spread out throughout the state.
Absolutely. He says, Amravati is the capital, but I'll get Kia to Anantapur. Amravati is the capital, I'll get TCS to Visakhapatnam. Amravati is the capital, I'll have very, very reputed educational institutes, national institutes there in Amravati. So he has this Vision. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I feel very blessed to be working with him because you have such an exposure to so many things.
I think Andhra Pradesh is going to see.
Yes, sir.
Andhra Pradesh is going to see the magic of CBN, transforming it like from Amravati to Nellore to Vizag, and it's going to be amazing what you just said. His vision on the blueprint progress.
Sir, in the past 6 months, we have been in the government for the past 6 months.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I'll have to interrupt because I can't stop telling about my leader because he's just so crazy for people, I should say. I sometimes call him that.
People-centered.
In the past 6 months, the amount of investments that he has got for the state, he and
Go ahead, tell us.
The IT industries minister, Mr. Lokesh, he gets BPCL, he gets TCS, he gets all the companies, artillery, everything on the ground and grounded, and almost around 30 to 40,000 employment already generated.
Wow.
And this man,
he's on the roll.
And this man again visits Delhi, talks to the central government and asks them for funding for Amaravati, asks them for funding for newer railway lines, asks them to get us new highways, asks them to go for industrial corridors, and he gets them done.
He gets them all done.
Because the point for him is, he says, see, sir, in 2019 when we lost, state was at least in some positions. It was called Sunrise State. Andhra Pradesh was called Sunrise State from 2014 to 2019. But from 2019 to 2024, when I don't know. I don't know.
I think the whole state got crippled with all the freebies.
Sir, whenever a psychologically ill person becomes the chief minister of the state, the state's position would be the same as it was in 2019 to 2024. I'm sorry to quote this.
Yes.
Because the state lost on so many opportunities. You know, in fact, the investments that were brought in during our time, those investors, those companies were literally thrown out of the state.
My God.
They were just thrown out. And then again, now you imagine, 5 years, you just saw destruction. You just saw, you know, a land mafia, a sand mafia, a liquor mafia, and a drug mafia run in the state. Now we came back to power in 2024.
And
people have given us huge mandate to the NDA government, 164 seats for us as an NDA. Now we have a huge responsibility on us. We have to first, you know, I think, do the damage control of the past 5 years.
Absolutely.
Get the state back on track, because for the past 5 years, we were like almost gone behind by 20, 30 years.
Absolutely.
So these people, whether it is Lokesh Garu or Naidu Garu or his council of ministers, they are on their toes already. We have our MPs here. So I don't know, you have been seeing every single day our MP is with some of the other ministers saying that हमारे constituency तो ये होना है.
You have to do something, correct.
And we have a system in the party where every MP is assigned pure job, saying that these are the ministries that you have to be behind to do something for the state. So this is some kind of a
mandate,
political governance that he does, because he says people have given us a mandate, we can't just let it go like that. And being a chief minister is not new to him. Being the most sought after chief minister is not new to him. There is nothing that he hasn't seen. He has seen money, he has seen power, he has seen craze from the people, he has seen everything, sir.
Yes.
But he still works more than almost, I would say, 18 hours a day.
Wow.
I don't know how he gets that energy from. I always ask him, sir, thoda to hame bhi de do beech mein energy. Sometimes because we get that, you sometimes you just, are yaar, bahut ho gaya, ab nahi karna hai mujhe. But when
lot was in the news, Professor Jyothsna, about the Polavaram project. Tell us what it is, the project, what it stands.
Sir, Polavaram is like again a dream project for the state of Andhra Pradesh, because what happens is some
it's an irrigation.
Some huge amount of land would be benefited, cultivable land, what we call, with Polavaram, and especially the upper base, what we call. So without Polavaram, that would have been difficult for us. So when we came to power in 2014, a lot of work was done on Polavaram. And there are certain hiccups there, obviously, because it's not a standstill one. You have the running water there, and you have a lot of hiccups there. So we had a diaphragm wall that was built, and a lot of things were done. Connecting stuff was done. But what happened was, after the government changed in 2019, they just blew everything off. It was like off the radar. Even the people who were, who gave their land for the project and all those people, they have to get the compensation. Right. Even compensation was not paid to them.
Wow.
Recently, some 865 crores we have released for the Polavaram project.
So now, when do you think the Polavaram project will take shape, and how long will it take?
See, I'll tell you, sir. Actually, ideally, we thought it would have been done in a couple of years from now. But in the past 5 years, the damage that has been done to it. See, we had to rebuild the diaphragm wall now. Earlier, we spent 400 crores for building the diaphragm wall. Now, for rebuilding it, around 800 to 900 crores.
So it's colossal waste.
See, when you have I don't know, but the state of Andhra Pradesh went through such a sad state of affairs from 2019 to 24. You had a criminal who was actually leading the state.
So that's why you got such a landslide victory.
I'll tell you, but the point is that certain things we can reverse. I'm telling you. See, as I now will speak as a mother, I now will speak as a responsible citizen rather than a politician. What happens is, sir, when governments change, you also have, so yes. Senior, you understand. We have seen so many political parties come into power, lose power, a lot of government changes happening. But the point is, there are certain things that are not to be done when you are in government, when you are.
Yes.
But the impact of certain things is huge on the
especially
society.
When you reverse the
sir, I'll tell you one thing. For the past 5 years, everything in the state of Andhra Pradesh was destruction, demolition,
and
reversal. But now, we are trying to rebuild everything. But you understand, a young chap, a young person who is addicted to drugs, how are you going to reverse him, sir? You understand the pain there, you understand the amount of time that we have to invest to get him back on track. That as a mother and as a citizen, I'm more worried. Because for the past 5 years in the state of Andhra Pradesh, there was a mafia of drugs that was running.
Oh, so mental health crisis was
absolutely, rampant. Sir, there was no employment. I'll tell you, simple words, there was no employment for the youth. Youth were literally being thrown to get addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Wow.
We have seen numerous deaths because of spurious alcohol in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and numerous incidents wherein youth were addicted to drugs. And even now, sir, after our government coming back to power also, because the person who is addicted to drugs will not come out of it so easily. So the biggest pain for us now is to get them back in the society. Sir, I can reverse the damage.
Mental health program.
Sir, I can reverse the damage that he has done to Polavaram. I can reverse the damage that he has done to Amaravati. I can reverse the damage that he has done to certain parts of the state in terms of investments. I can beg them. I can, probably tell them, boss, you come back to the state. We have got good things for you. I can give them more subsidies. I can do whatever I want to. But how do I get back the lives of these young children? How do I get back?
So now is that CBN and the Prince Lokesh's forte in their agenda?
Sir, we from the NDA government in the state of Andhra Pradesh, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Nara CHANDRABABU Garu, we have formed a cabinet subcommittee on drugs.
Wow, this is news. I think this is breaking news. None of us in North America knows about the drug menace in Andhra Pradesh. The first time I'm hearing it. No media has spoken about it.
Sir, I'll tell you, because we have a special team called Eagle Team now in the state of Andhra Pradesh, under the leadership of our subcommittee of ministers. Anybody, if they encourage cultivation of drugs, or if they encourage selling or buying of drugs, they are not spared.
We have strict rules.
We have strict rules there, and we are trying to do the damage control for the state, because that's the first thing that we have to do, sir. So a lot of Vijay sir, I'll tell you, they have been.
But what you're giving is, Professor Jyothsna is giving a shocking revelation that there's been a huge, for the past 5 years in Andhra Pradesh, drug menace, alcohol abuse,
Sir, I'll tell you.
Destroying the youth for generations.
I'll tell you, sir. A generation has lost their crucial and pivotal time because of one criminal who was in power from 2019 to 2024.
And Professor Jyothsna's leader, Nara Chandrababu Naidu, CBN, and his team of Council of Ministers are fighting drug menace on a war footing.
Absolutely.
They have formed an Eagle team, a subcommittee of the cabinet, where the Minister for IT and all the other ministers, Lokesh and others.
Sir, I'll tell you one more thing. Regularly, we are conducting awareness camps. Regularly, Honorable Chief Minister, the Honorable Education Minister, even other Council of Ministers, Honorable Ministers, everybody is on ground with the children. With the children in the schools. They go there, sit with them, have lunch with them, check the quality of food with them. And you know what? I'll tell you. I don't know, I'm a follower of Sanatana Dharma, but I think I have my own way of telling it. Lokesh Garu is the chief minister's son. He's a minister by himself. His grandfather was a chief minister.
Yes, NT Ram.
But he doesn't have an iota of, the proudness in him anywhere. He goes to the children, sits with them, eats with them, and then teaches the children. I'm talking about school children, sir. Take your plate, go wash the plate and put it back. And if your father is next to you, because in one of the instances, Babu Garu and Lokesh Garu, both of them were in the same program, and both of them were having lunch with the children. He took his father's plate also along with him. He washed both the plates. And so this is what is called culture, sir.
Self-discipline is
culture. We have to teach our children culture.
Inculcating,
sir.
Culture.
And also here I would like to mention the one of other purest souls of Andhra Pradesh. I always love calling her Bhuvanamma, the wife of Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nara Chandrababu Naidu. She runs a trust by the name NTR Trust. She's like the most lovable person you can ever meet, sir. And you know what she does? She does a lot of activities from our NTR Trust and all these things. But now, after, we had seen a lot of damage to the state for the past 5 years. Now she also says, there is my part also. I'm just not Chief Minister's wife. I'll have to do my job also for the society. So she comes on to the constituency of Kuppam where our Honorable Chief Minister represents. She goes there. She adopts the villages there.
Wow.
She talks to the children there. She talks to the women there.
The whole family is involved.
Sir, it's like, what happens is, when you are seeing a family following culture, following rules, following discipline, and teaching you how to serve the society, honestly, as a mother, I always show Bhuvanamma to my children saying that, see, she's a mother and look how her son has learned from her. Lokesh Garu has learned from Bhuvanamma. So I tell my children, this is our culture.
Education.
This is our culture. This is what we have to learn. Why am I telling you all this is, sir, as I said earlier, we, there were very emotionally very painful situations for me as a citizen, as a mother, because, earlier Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy and his team of ministers or team of MLAs, whenever they would address a gathering of children also, they would go for some schemes or something like that. Gathering of children, they would make them sit there and talk about the personal lives of other leaders. They would talk about some nonsensical things.
Negative feedback. Inculcating negativity into young minds. Is a very...
that they have done. So we have...
It's a very destructive thing.
Sir, I'll tell you, when our education minister now, Sri Lokesh Garu, goes and visits, he goes every now and then, he goes inspect some school. He is behind them. He is telling, you know what? He said, boss, आपका marks कम हो जाएगा ना तो मेरे पापा मेरे marks कम कर देंगे हमारे chief minister. He tells them that because he says your performance is linked to my performance. So you don't tell him I'm not counted. So that's how it has to be. That's responsibility. It has to be shown. And you know what he does? Whenever he goes there, he talks about Dokka Sitamma. He talks about Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He talks about the eminent personalities, educationalists, people who have taught us education, people who have taught us living life. He talks about
education is the basic foundation.
Sir, I'll tell you, this is what has to be told to children. And why are we doing, now we have got, a person, Chandran Koteshwar, I think you know him, he's
Yes.
an eminent person who talks about ethics and morals. So he's been appointed as the advisor for the state of Andhra Pradesh for, imbibing those ethics and morals in the young minds. So we are going in a,
360 degrees.
we
Right?
have to,
Catch them young, train
so
them.
we have to
rebuild Andhra Pradesh.
safeguard our state. We have to rebuild the state. We have to, literally take those little young minds in our hands. We have to, they're fragile, sir.
Nourish them.
We can't just leave them like that. So there's a huge responsibility on our team, and that's what my leader does.
You have said it so well. Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, I think your name Tirunagari, tell our viewers what does it mean?
Sir, it's the
Meaning of
God. Somebody, most of them say it's my surname that's been given by my husband.
okay.
But most of them say it's like Perumal's home.
Lord
and
Perumal's,
Lord
abode
Perumal's.
of Lord Perumal.
And
I can see how eloquently she is. Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, you just heard her giving an in-depth, in detailed transcription and description of how Nara Chandrababu Naidu and his Council of Ministers, including the Education and IT Minister Lokesh, are transforming the state of Andhra Pradesh right from the young children. She has explained to us, thank you for telling us how the drug abuse and alcohol abuse has destroyed a generation during the last 5 years.
Absolutely, sir.
And they are trying to rebuild and take care of the young minds, nurture them, and giving them the proper education, the proper state of living, and they are rebuilding Amravati as a capital, going to be a world-class capital. And he has also identified different parts of the state, Nellore to Vizag and to other areas. Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh. There are going to be hubs. One will be a manufacturing hub, food processing hub, and TDTP. As we all know, Lord Balaji's, Lord Sri Venkateshwara's temple, which is one of the world's richest temples, I would say, place of worship of God, which is thronged. It's even more popular than the Pope, the Vatican in Italy. And that, how he started this whole transformation process, as Professor Jyothsna said, from Tirupati, TDD, and what's going on with that. And they're blending the artificial intelligence.
One last thing I would like
Please,
to add
please
here.
go ahead. You give us such an enlightening.
No, because there's one thing, I think I would say the dream of CBN Garu. He is talking about Vision 2047. Earlier, if you remember, he had given a Vision 2020, and we are living in
the first state.
Yes.
After that, all the state
all
chiefs
states,
as the Prime
and
Minister.
he has made it possible. Then most of them commented, "Arey, ye kya Vision 2020 hai?" But now we are living in Vision 2020, sir.
Yes.
We are experiencing the benefits out of it. So now my leader was also given 2047. According to Vision 2047, we are talking about renewable energy. We are talking about a lot of changes in that, a lot of newer things. But according to Vision 2047, India is going to be, our motto, our aim is, by 2047 at least, India should be the number one
superpower in the world.
Superpower in the world.
Viksit
And in
Bharat.
that, we have a small selfishness internationally, sir. In that, both the Telugu states, Andhra and Telangana, should be at number one, number two position. That's it.
Wow, wow.
That's our.
You just heard Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari telling, but I'll tell you, CBN is a visionary who brings his vision into reality. Very few people has that hard-working charisma, like you said, who can transform that.
Sir, he has got that passion for people. He has got that persuasion for people, and he has got that, vision for people. For him, politics. Sir, I'll tell you one thing, sir. For him, politics is not about power. For him, politics is people.
People.
So if you ask me, there have been several instances. Last thing from me, there have been several instances when we internally also, sir, if we do this politically, we might get, a little bit of damage. He says, show me your hand. I said, yes, sir. Politics and people, which would you put up a hand?
People.
Politics and people. Where are you placing? I said, sir, like this. He said, nahi. This is politics, this is people. So this is how it should be. That's my leader. So he's born for people, he works for people, his vision is centered around people, his family is for people.
You said people's person, Nara Chandrababu Naidu, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, last question before I get to you a little more, before the conclusion of this most educative and enlightening.
Thank you.
So, here they have done a wonderful job. You are making your national spokesperson. You, in such a short time, brought so many of these attributes together and real action what's going on in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Tell us about Nara Chandrababu Naidu's son, Lokesh. We know about his father, Lokesh's grandfather, N.T. Ramarao ji, who really did a lot for her. So tell me, does Lokesh have all these talents and attributes of the father? What are his strengths and what are his weaknesses?
Sir, I'll tell you one thing, sir.
Yes.
One liner that describes Lokesh Garu.
How old is he?
I think he's in his 40s.
40s, okay.
Yeah.
He looks very young.
But I'll tell you one thing, sir. As I said, one phrase that describes Lokesh Garu is a hard-working, pure soul.
A hard-working, pure soul.
Pure soul. He just has nothing in his mind. He's just, for him, he wants to do something for the state, along with a string attached there is, he's a party man. For him, his karyakartas are important. For him, his karyakartas' safety is important. For him, his karyakartas' health is important. I think TDP is one of those first parties, if you remember, sir.
Yes.
It was one of those first parties which actually had a fund for the karyakartas. We call it Karyakartala Sankshema Nidhi.
For party workers.
Yes, we call it Karyakartala Sankshema Nidhi, welfare fund for the karyakartas.
Correct.
Any karyakarta, for example, he lost his life. You have young children for him. They fund the education for the children. They take care of the young children. And any karyakarta, has got any problem or anything, they can see. I'll tell you one thing, sir. Lokesh Garu is just a phone call away. And that's the reason I said it's a pure soul. Because for him, his grandfather's position, his father's position, nothing gets into his brain.
You said it very well, that hardworking and a pure soul Lokesh Garu. And during Jagan Mohan Reddy's time, they were also tortured. They were imprisoned, if I'm not wrong.
Sir, I'll tell you
father
one
and
thing.
the son. How did they take it at that time?
I'll tell you one thing, sir. 2014 to 19, they have tried to demean him to the core, sir.
Yes.
Disrespect him to the core. They have tried to, brand him wrongly. They called him all sorts of names. Still, he delivered. He delivered as an IT minister. He delivered as an IT minister, he delivered. But people's verdict was different in 2019. There were several reasons. There were certain shortcomings from our end as well. And Jagan Mohan Reddy came into power. After Jagan Mohan Reddy came into power, in the assembly, there were no discussions about the constituencies. There were no discussions about the people. There were no discussions about anything.
No projects, nothing.
Nothing. There was just only one kind of a discussion. All abuses, sir. Hurl abuses on CBN Garu, hurl abuses on Lokesh Garu, hurl abuses on our MLAs, hurl abuses on even the family members of CBN Garu. They were literally, in one of the earlier interviews to a local channel, I said, sir, they have done intimidation of women in the assembly. As a women politician, I feel ashamed of that. A woman who doesn't even belong to politics, they have, spoken real bad about her. Because she just was family member of CBN. That CBN could not, they spoke about his wife, so he couldn't take it. He literally had tears in his eyes in a press conference. He said, this is not what I have built in 40 years of my political career. And during that time, sir, when the state was going through a lot of turmoil, people were, harassed to the core, sir. There were, SCs who were literally killed on roads. There was a person, a driver of one of the MLC. The MLC himself killed him and door delivered that body to his house.
My God.
Jagan Mohan Reddy's MLC. Things like this were happening. That's when Lokesh Garu said, this is not it. The voice of the people has to be heard. So he announced a Padayatra called Yuvagalam. Yuvagalam, the voice of the young. The voice of the youth. The voice of the people of Andhra Pradesh. He came out. He started walking from Kuppam to, Srikakulam. That was his life. During that course, he met with several people. He met with education specialists, he met with BCs, he met with SCs, he met with Brahmins, farmers, everybody, students, everybody, women. And he was just noting down, "Acha, tumhara constituency mein ye problem hai, this is what is happening." He did everything. Suddenly, in a case that was not even related to our leader, just out of vendetta politics, just out of revenge politics, Jagan had CBN Garu arrested. And he put him in, prison for 54 days.
Wow, it's a long time.
Sir, during that time, the amount of patience, the amount of strength that Lokesh Garu, Bhuvanamma, Brahmani Garu has given the cadre, given the leaders, is something that we will always be grateful to them. Because sir, when you have your leader going through tough situation, it becomes tougher for the karyakartas to go ahead. But you know what happened? When people get arrested, usually, you have seen so many politicians get arrested. When politicians, no, sir. When politicians get arrested, usually what corruption they have done or things like that come out. You remember, right?
Yes.
But when CBN Garu was arrested, illegally that too, even his FIR, in the FIR, his name was also not mentioned, sir. You know what? All the good things that he has done came up. People across the world, I would say, I'm proud again being a student of CBN. I call myself a proud student of CBN because across the world, you had some lots of people come on road saying that arrest of CBN is illegal.
Correct.
Jagan, come out of here, idiotic vendetta politics. They have said it. They have done it in America, sir. I think you also witnessed it. They have done it in Australia. They have done it in Europe. They have done it in France. They have done it in Germany. They have done it everywhere. They have done it in Tamil Nadu. They have done it in Karnataka. They have done it in Telangana. They have done it in Andhra Pradesh. They have done it in Delhi. They said, release our leader. You have done a wrong thing.
True.
Because,
very true.
So these times were very tough times for us, sir. Especially even there were many instances when I couldn't hold my tears. Literally, because my leader has always dedicated his life for the people. He never thought of himself. Family doesn't know him in terms of any other thing. I think I interacted with Bhuvanamma a couple of times. She always says he doesn't give time to the family. For him, family is TDP family. For the entire family of CBN Garu, family for them is TDP family. So those were the toughest times for all of us, but we came out of it because our leader is a leader without a black mark.
And today you're on a triumphant roll. Amaravati is going to be the world-class capital.
Yes,
we have the national TDP spokesman, Prof Jyothsna Tirunagari, who gave us such an enlightening conversation, and you told us about the drug menace, which is still irking because we never heard about it in North America, and we knew challenges, and you have come and well-deserved triumph. In the last 6 months, they put their head to the shoulder, working hard day and night to reimagine the Andhra Pradesh state, put all the reverses which were done earlier, put the wrong the right, make the wrong the right. And it's been wonderful to have you on the Global Eye Magazine's podcast and Dr. VGP's talk show. Ma'am, could you tell, if you're given an opportunity to take 3 people out for dinner from the past to the present, who would the 3 people be? Because that will tell our viewers who are your mentors and heroes are.
See, 2 would be definitely, one would be obviously my leader. I would just love to have dinner with him.
Okay.
And I would be privileged to have dinner with him, CBN Garu. And yes, Lokesh Garu, because he's like, we don't call him the prince. He doesn't call himself a prince. But he's like, for me, he's a strong support system for the parties. He's a pillar for the party.
You described him aptly, a hard-working, pure soul.
Pure soul.
Yes.
And definitely, 3rd one would be Bhuvanamma. And I would like to add one more person, if you give me the permission.
Yes, sure.
My husband.
Okay, what's his name?
Dr. Sridhar.
Yeah.
Because what I am today is because of him.
Tell us 1 line, 2 lines about Dr. Sridhar. He's an academician too.
Yes, he is a doctor by profession, and he's into clinical research. But for me, he's again a pure soul. For him, me working for the people is the biggest satisfaction. He's the one who is behind me to come into politics. He's the one who supports me, and he's the one actually thinks that something good would be done by Jyothsna for the people because she can do it, and he has always believed in me. So obviously, given a chance, I would love to have dinner with all these four people and me at one place, and that would be probably the best day I can ever think of.
Very well said. Now, Professor Jyothsna, do you and Dr. Sridhar have any children, and how old are they?
Yes, we have two children. My daughter is in her third year. She'll be just completing her third year of medicine.
Wow! You don't look so. You're looking young. You have a third.
Thank you for your kind words again.
Oh, okay, very good.
Kind words again, and she'll just be completing her third year of medicine. And my son is in his first year of engineering.
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, you are a wholesome, pure soul.
Thank you, sir.
Because it takes one to recognize another. And tell us now, in 3 words, how would you describe yourself, or 3 adjectives?
One thing is, I'm very passionate about the work that I do. Second, passionate, yes, one word. Second word is a loyal person. And third is student of CBN.
Wow, very well said.
I wouldn't leave that because he's my pure mentor, and I take him as my teacher in politics, and also there are a lot of life lessons that I've learned from him. To be at such stage, see, we have seen him going through tough times, but that man is somebody, he doesn't ever,
Iconic phenomenon.
Sir, there's a lot that you can learn from him. There's a lot of strength that you can gain from him. So definitely, I'm passionate, I'm loyal, and also I'm a strong and proud student of CBN.
You just heard Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari describing herself as passionate, loyal, and a proud and loyal student of CBN Garu. That's Nara Chandrababu Naidu, the current Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who has molded her. Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari, it's fantastic for having you with us on the Dr. VGP talk show. You enlightened us and gave us so much information which we didn't know. It was sitting and listening to you was a real enriching experience. In conclusion, what is your parting message? As the national TDP spokesperson in Delhi, you're crossing country, and we know that Andhra Pradesh is in good hands with the Chief Minister, CBN Garu. And what is your message to our viewers and beyond?
One thing is, definitely Andhra Pradesh is in good hands. Chief Minister Nara Chandrababu Naidu Garu. India is in good hands with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi Garu. One single and simple message for all out there is, follow your heart, be passionate about what you do. Service to the society should be the ultimate motto for all of us. We are a part of society, so definitely we have to give it back to the society when time comes.
Thank you so much, Professor Jyothsna Tirunagari. You were so eloquent, and wishing you all success.
Thank you.
As you are going to take your mentor, Honorable Nara Chandrababu Naidu's message and implement his vision into reality in Delhi and make all his dreams come into reality. From Amravati, everything else. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And it was wonderful.
It's an honor to be on your show.
Dear viewers, elevate your business to new heights and reach 35 million potential customers with Global Eye Digital. Contact us today at globaleyedigital@gmail.com or info@globaleyedigital.com. Let's take your business global.
Get your brand connected to 35 million readers in India and 2 million in the USA. Global Eye Magazine, the fastest growing Indo-US weekly. Our magazine dives deep into exclusive stories, face-to-face interviews, and key happenings across the USA and India, delivering content you won't find anywhere else. Advertise with Global Eye Magazine and reach highly targeted and influential audience. Contact us to book your ad space.